Hello and welcome to a legendary video where I'll be teaching you a bulking method for infinite gains. Now this is an S-tier bulking method. It helped me gain 20 kilos of muscle. And yeah, I'd say it's the most goated method out there. So does it involve tracking calories? No, I can't be bothered. You can't be bothered either. It's just too tedious and too much effort. So what's the solution? Well, introducing Cal AI. Just snap a picture of your food. I'm joking, this sucks. So what's the real solution and the way that I gained over 20 kilos? Well, I call it nutritional progressive overload. What you have to understand is what you're eating right now is keeping you at the weight you're at. So if you've been plateaued for a while, you've been staying at the same weight, that means you've been eating at maintenance for that entire time that you've been plateaued. What you've been eating has kept you at the weight that you are at. And so all you gotta do is add a little extra. So let's say you're eating 3 eggs and 3 slices of toast for breakfast. Bump that up to 4 eggs and 4 slices. Let's say you're eating 1 bowl of ground beef and rice for lunch. Well, make that a bowl and a half. Simple. Or maybe you just make it a bigger bowl. So these increased portions will make you gain weight. So basically the method is to just take whatever you're eating and add a little bit more. It's just like progressive overload in the gym. If you're benching, say 60 kilos, then just chuck on 2.5 kilo plates on each side. Just have these small incremental improvements. And by doing this with your nutrition, these increased portions will make you gain weight. But eventually, these increased portions won't be enough to help you gain weight anymore. Let's say by doing this method, you go from 60 to 65 kilos. You've gained 5 kilos. But then you plateau, you're stuck at 65, you're not able to gain any more. That's because the amount that you ate was able to get you to 65, but it's not able to get you past that. That amount is your new maintenance, okay? Those 4 eggs and 4 slices of toast, that amount of food is now only enough to keep you at the weight you're at, not increase. So what in the world will you do? Seems like quite the predicament. I wonder what you can do. Well, when you're in the gym and you're progressively overloading, do you just increase the weight once and never go up again? No, you keep going up and up and up. It's progressive overload. So not 4 eggs in toast anymore. 5. And it doesn't just have to be increasing your portion sizes either. It can be another meal maybe. You can add snacks, just any which way that you can add more. The point is to just increase whatever you're eating now. So just like in the gym, how you gradually and continually add weight as you get stronger, you're going to do the same thing with eating. Continually add more food as you get bigger. And so this is the general principle. As long as you want to get bigger, you got to eat more. That's why the biggest guys always eat the most. Let me give you like a super scientific graph here. So this is investigating on the x-axis how big someone is, and on the y-axis how much they eat. Let's see what the science says. Oh my days. It's a perfect linear correlation. The bigger you want to get, the more you got to eat. Okay? So yeah. That's how it is. So did I basically just tell you that the secret to gaining weight is to eat more? Low-key, I kinda did. But what else are you supposed to do? Eat less and think you're gonna gain weight? Bruh. And by the way, the same thing applies with cutting, just eat less. And if you want me to make a full video on cutting, then just like comment it below, I guess. So yeah, why is my method so goated? Well, number one, it's sustainable. You don't gotta track, you don't have to have spreadsheets, you don't have to count your calories. It's way more realistic. You can actually do this without falling off. It's also adaptive. Let's say you're gaining too fast and you're getting a little bit too fluffy too quick. Well, you know, to pull back, you probably added a little bit too much. But on the contrary, if you're not gaining or gaining too slow, then you can just add more. It's also super simple and easy. You can actually stay consistent with it. Literally all it is just gradually eating more over time. Even if you're brain dead, you can do this. It's very comprehensible. And also it works very well. I do it personally, my clients do it, my friends do it, and it works great. And you already do this in the gym. You progressively overload and add more weight over time. So you can just apply the exact same approach to your eating. But I do have to say that, of course, calculating your basal metabolic rate, aiming for a 300 calorie surplus, weighing your food, tracking your intake and expenditure, basically the whole MyFitnessPal method will be more precise and you'll get more predictable results. I can't talk. Bruh. Tracking your intake and expenditure will be more precise and you'll get more predictable results. But the big thing is if you can be bothered. But if you just like lifting as a hobby and want to get jacked, then do my method, okay? It's way less effort for probably 90 or more % of the results. And if you do it right, you'll get the exact same results. So yeah, I got some extra things on how you want to execute this bulk. You want to try to eat relatively the same things week to week and have some fairly consistent meals. This method is going to be pretty hard to do if you're just changing your meals and what you eat every week. It's kind of like in the gym. If you're doing different exercises every single week and you're always switching it up, it's going to be hard to progressively overload on one singular exercise. The same thing with your eating. You want to eat relatively the same things so you know that you're progressively overloading on those foods. Also, you want to gain anywhere from 1 kilo to 1.5 kilos per month. If you're gaining any faster than this and you're not a complete beginner, then you're probably putting on excess body fat, because your body can only put on muscle at a certain rate, and if you exceed that, then the excess is just going to be fat. So I'd recommend not going past 1.5 kilos per month. But if you do less than a kilo, then you're just going unnecessarily slow. There's not really any reasons to go slower than a kilo per month of weight gain. You're just going to have slower results. Also, if you're wondering how long to bulk for, I'd say between 3 and 12 months. If you do less than 3 months, then you're not going to see very noticeable results. You're not going to have put on a significant amount of muscle mass. And yeah, bulking really isn't worth it if you're just doing it for like 1 month. But if you do more than 12 months and you've been consistently gaining weight every single month, then you'll probably be at a very high body fat percentage by the end. Like if you've been gaining 1.5 kilos a month for 12 months, then you'll be up 18 kilos. And so at that point, you should probably cut. Another thing that people always ask me about is mass gainer shakes. They think it's going to be like the magic thing that'll help them get big. And most beginners are like this. They think supplements are magic. But yeah, mass gainer shakes work very, very well. But please do not get the pre-made ones. The pre-made powders are literally the worst thing you can get. Number one, they're usually very, very low quality, full of maltodextrin, which is basically just sugar. And number two, they're way overpriced. Okay? Look at this. Optimum Nutrition, freaking suboptimum nutrition, $90. For 8 servings of this mass gainer shake. That's like $11 a shake. Shake your booty.
Shake your booty?
So yeah, don't get the pre-made powders. They're absolute booty cheeks. But what you should do is make your own shakes. It's so easy once you've done it once. And honestly, I think bulking shakes are probably the biggest hack that you can do with bulking. If you can get over 1,000 calories in your shake, then you don't really even need to do anything that I talked about before. You can literally just eat at maintenance and eat whatever you've been eating, and then just add an 1,000 calorie shake, and you're automatically in a huge surplus. And since it's a drink, it's so much easier to down than a 1,000 calorie meal, because you don't have to chew on physical food, and that just makes you feel less full. So yeah, the main ingredients that most people put in their shakes is things like bananas, peanut butter, protein powder, Greek yogurt, oats, olive oil. Olive oil is actually such a cheat code. You can't even taste it and you get like an extra 300 calories. You can also add sweetener if you want your shake to taste a little bit better. And of course, milk and ice. If you can get your shake to taste good and you actually like it, then this is the biggest cheat code to bulking. So now let's move on to an even more pressing issue: how to not be ugly when you're bulking. I feel like people don't talk about this enough, because bulking will probably make you a little bit more chopped. I know it did for me. I mean, look at that. Like, what is this? You'll probably lose your abs, your definition, and your muscles will go away. And the worst thing is that you'll get the freaking moon face. You'll look like a water buffalo. But this can be avoided. And so if you want to stay pretty and beautiful while you're bulking, I got some tips for you. Number one is to get hella potassium. And you've probably heard this all over TikTok: potassium to sodium ratio. But you don't actually know why it works. Well, potassium basically works because your body stores water, and it can either store it intracellularly or extracellularly. Friggin' tongue twister. So potassium shifts the water from being stored extracellularly to intracellularly. And when you're storing water extracellularly, the water is like under your skin. It's making you look bloated. It's making you look less defined. But when you store water intracellularly, that's water and glycogen inside of your muscles. So your muscles look fuller, and you also look tighter because you don't have as much water stored under your skin. And so sodium kind of does the exact opposite thing, where it makes you store water extracellularly under your skin and making you look bloated. So that's why you want a healthy potassium to sodium ratio. I'd say a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1. And so basically, whatever amount of sodium that you consume, you want 3 times that or 4 times that amount in potassium. And so I just say to spam coconut water. This has a lot of potassium. Also, instead of having rice and bread and pasta as your main carb sources, I'd say switch to having potatoes and sweet potatoes as your main carb source. One medium potato has over 900 milligrams of potassium, and sweet potato has like 500 milligrams. So it's a big game changer. The only thing is that you don't want to add a lot of salt to your potatoes, because that'll just defeat the purpose, and you'll just mess up that 4-to-1 ratio that you're going for. So yeah, get hella potassium. And also, don't eat a ton of junk and ultra-processed food, and don't eat that too often. Food like that will make you super inflamed and super bloated and ugly. You can see this guy right here eating all that junk. You can see how bloated he is. He's not marking right now. So yeah, don't eat junk and fast food. but you can if you want. I don't want to be the guy that's telling you what to eat, what not to eat. You can eat whatever you want. Just understand that what you eat will affect how you look. So if you don't really care how you look, then you don't have to really pay attention to any of this. It's up to you, really. But the main thing is, the healthier that you eat, the less chopped you'll be. Now I'll just go with some quick training tips for you. So you want to train stupidly hard. Since you're eating more and you're having extra calories, your body can handle whatever brutally hard training that you throw at it. So you don't have to worry about fatigue, you don't have to worry about recovery, because your body will pretty much recover from nearly anything. So push your sets hard, go to failure, do those big hard lifts, and you will recover just fine. So take advantage of this extra recovery capacity that you'll be having on a bulk. Also, get as strong as you can on every single exercise. When you're bulking, it's prime time to chase that bench PR, chase that deadlift PR. Try to get as strong as possible on every single exercise. If you can get significantly stronger on most of your exercises during a bulk, then that is probably a successful bulk and you've probably built a significant amount of muscle. And also, follow a program that's actually good. You're not going to get away with just doing whatever, going to the gym and just picking a couple random exercises. If you want to make significant progress, then you need a proven plan that's been built through exercise science principles. A good program will consider things like volume and intensity management, stimulus to fatigue ratio, exercise biomechanics, recovery optimization, all these things. So you can research all these things and become an exercise science nerd like I did, or you can just use my program. But yeah, if you want the best results, then you want to have a good program. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Hopefully you learned something. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I also do online one-to-one coaching, so you can get personally coached by me. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.